In the Odyssey, Ulysses was preparing to fight the Trojan War when he realized he would be leaving behind his only son and heir. Since the child was young and wars typically dragged on for years, Ulysses entrusted Telemachus care and education to mentor his son. Today, mentoring is a process in which an experienced individual helps another person develop his or her goals and skills through a series of time-limited, confidential, one-on-one conversations and other learning activities. Mentors also draw benefits from the mentoring relationship. As a mentor, you will have the opportunity to share your wisdom and experiences, evolve your own thinking, develop a new relationship, and deepen your skills as a mentor. So how do you mentor someone? Hi, my name is Anil Jaising. I'm a certified Scrum Trainer with Scrum Alliance, an Agile coach, and adjunct faculty with the NYU's graduate program of project management. To become a certified Scrum Trainer, you need to go through a process, and the process needs you to actively seek out mentors. I got the benefit of some wonderful mentors like Dave Pryor from Leading Agile, Bernie Maloney from Powered by Teams, Jason Tanner from Applied Frameworks, and Rick Waters from Wise Scrum. In this video, I will share how you can form a formal mentoring relationship and some best practices with my real-life stories from my certified Scrum Trainer mentors. There are 4 stages of a formal mentoring relationship. The first one is building the relationship. During this phase, you will get to know each other and begin to establish trust. During your first meeting, ideally face-to-face, discuss your backgrounds and get to know each other. You will also make agreements about confidentiality and the frequency of contact. During this first stage, it is important to establish a schedule for communicating regularly, whether in person, by phone, or email. Stage 2 is about exchanging more information and setting goals. Your relationship and trust will deepen. Here you will need to practice active listening. You can do so by showing interest in what he or she is saying and reflect back important aspects of what he or she said to show that you've understood. Using body language such as making eye contact that shows you're paying attention to what he or she is saying. And if you're talking to them by phone, reduce background noise and limit interruptions. Your protege will feel that he or she has your undivided attention. When utilizing email, answer within 24 hours and be sure your message is responsive to his or her original request. In phase 2, consistently practice encouragement, commenting favorably on his or her accomplishments, communicating your beliefs in his or her capacity to grow personally and professionally and reach their goals. Respond to their frustrations and challenges with words of support, understanding, encouragement, and praise. Just knowing that someone else has been there can be tremendously helpful to the mentee. Stage 3 is working towards goals and deepening the engagement. During stage 3, which is typically the longest, you will help your protege work towards achieving their goals through conversations, sharing written materials, trying various learning and development activities, and introducing him or her to other colleagues. This is a rich phase, marked by openness and trust, meaningful discussion, and application of new insights and approaches. Your protege needs your ongoing encouragement at this stage. You may also feel comfortable enough to challenge him or her to think in new ways or approach a problem differently. This is also a stage during which energy in the relationship can wane, because sometimes our protege will feel concerned that he or she is burdening you. Other responsibilities will often compete with his or her commitment to the mentoring relationship. If you haven't heard from your protege in a while, check in with him or her, take the lead if necessary. Also take stock of your own time and energy. Is the partnership working well for you? Do you need to make some adjustments? And finally, the 4th stage is ending the formal relationship and planning for the future. During this stage, planning for the protege's continued success is balanced with bringing the formal relationship to a close. Work with your protege to define the types of support he or she may need in the future. You may want to connect with him or her with additional colleagues who can provide benefits other than those provided by you. This is also a good time to explore your protege's own interest in one day mentoring someone else. As a trainer, I found several things that I could improve. As they say, I was a rough stone and needed a lot of polish. I found that polish with my mentors. Let me share what I learned from them. As a Scrum Trainer, I was always very proud that I could teach Scrum and incorporate other topics that went beyond the learning objectives in my training. One of my mentors, Jason Tanner, opened my eyes to the amount of learning objectives we really need to cover in a 2-day period Adding more materials had no space for him. Looking at what he did and how he taught his class, I completely redesigned my training to focus on the core components necessary and required by the learning outcomes. As a mentor, always think of yourself as a learn facilitator rather than the person with all the answers. Help your protege find people and other resources that help him or her make their own decisions. Emphasize questions over advice giving. Use probes that help your protege think more broadly and deeply. If he or she only talks about facts, ask about feelings. If he or she focuses on feelings, ask him or her to review the facts. If he or she seems stuck in an immediate crisis, help him or her see the big picture. For me, this is something Bernie Maloney from Powered by Teams has always done with me. And it's not just to provide feedback, but also ask probing questions. I'm always someone who has several irons in the fist at any time. And after a while, I found myself either sick or overwhelmed. By challenging my priorities, he has always led me to a path where now I always think of what impact am I delivering by choosing what I do. As a mentor, resist the temptation to control the relationship and steer its outcome. Your protege is responsible for his or her own growth. Many a times it took me time to realize how learners feel in my training, but I was asked to run a retrospective after every module. I taught with my mentor, and that helped me think deeply of how I feel if I was one of the learners, and that made me get into the shoes of how my learners felt. Help your protege see alternative interpretations and approaches. Although I believe I'm an expert in instructional design, I'm always looking forward to new ways to design my training and presentations. When I mentor CST candidates, I have a process that has them explore and discover several techniques from different teaching domains and gives them tools in their toolbox to use in different situations. Build your protege's confidence through supportive feedback. Each and every one of my CST mentors were not shy on providing feedback. One method to provide feedback that I really like is the perfection game. I first learned it from Jason, and ever since I've used it whenever I'm in a mentoring relationship. I've shared a link in the description to the perfection game. As a trainer, one of the things I used to do a lot is inadvertently interrupt my students or speak too soon during my training. Jason taught me a mental counting technique where once a learner has stopped speaking, count to 7 seconds like this: 1000, 1001, 1002 to 1007, and then start speaking. This helped me improve my skills to actively listen. As a mentor, help your protege reflect on successful strategies that could apply to challenges that they are having. Be spontaneous now and then. Beyond your planned conversations, call or email out of the blue, just to leave an encouraging word or piece of new information to check in. Again, something Bernie has always done for me is to check in. Many a times as a mentee, I felt I'm taking too much of their time, so I would keep a distance. By my mentor checking in, it made me more comfortable and helped us build trust. Enjoy the privilege of mentoring. Know that your efforts will likely have a significant impact on your protege's development as well as your own. Encourage your mentee to mentor someone else in the future to pay it forward. Share what you think about mentoring by adding comments at the bottom of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please support my channel by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. See you next time.